Hello everyone, I'm your host the Gamer, and welcome to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. This is a game I've been wanting to do ever since basically when I started this channel. This is a game that I actually really wanted to play, and I finally get the chance to do that. I wanted to get a lot of the Pokemon stuff out of the way, and obviously that was very time consuming. Either way, we can finally get started on something that's not Pokemon related. So obviously, as you can see, Master Quest is an option here. This is because I've already beaten the game before. I deleted all my save files, so as you can see, there's nothing there. And of course, considering his name is actually Link, we're going to be going with the name Link. So yeah, also whenever there's like major cutscenes, I'm just not gonna, so enjoy. So as you can see, obviously, us as the protagonist, being kind of asleep, we are having a pretty bad dream. Kind of, it's not exactly one of those regular dreams that you normally have. It's one of those premonition, I think is how you pronounce that. I don't think it's premonition, I'm pretty sure it's premonition. It's one of those weird dreams that says, this is something that's probably going to happen, you probably want to do something about it. And if you already didn't know, this guy here is obviously the Deku Tree, and Navi here, the most annoying fairy on the planet, and everyone hates this fairy. If you have never played a Legend of Zelda game before, most people usually try to start with Ocarina of Time because of all of the popularity behind it. Yes, it's an amazing game, and by far one of my all-time favorite video games ever since my existence. And that poor rock, by the way. But you're gonna come to hate this fairy particularly. There are some other characters in other Legend of Zelda games that have received heat, but none as much as Navi. Navi is always going to be that little fairy that's always going to continuously say, hey, listen, like 100,000 times. It's just, no. But anyways, as you can probably already tell, she's been sent here to come and get us, and we're having our nightmares still, and she's sitting here being inconsiderate and kind of just yelling at us, trying to get us to wake up. In a way, it's not a bad thing because it gets us out of that shitty dream, but at the same time, we're kind of asleep. Really, you couldn't be a little bit more, gentle about it, I guess. So now that we're finally awake, she's going to introduce herself as if, she doesn't kind of force that kind of crap on us in the first place, and she tells us that we need to go and see the Great Deku Tree. So we can finally leave the house. Finally, we have control over our character, and out into the Kokiri forest we go. Now, fun fact about the Kokiris, as far as I've heard anyways, I don't look into very many massive details really, but apparently when the Kokiri, the way the Kokiris work is they stay like the age that they are forever, as long as they're inside the Kokiri forest, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not exactly 100% on all of this like fact thing, but there's that, and then there's also the fact that if they leave the forest, they pretty much just die. So, hooray for that. So, what we're going to be doing now is, obviously we need to go see the Great Deku Tree, but this guy is standing between us and the Great Deku Tree. He's like, oh, hey, you're not a man yet. You don't have a sword or a shield. And for anyone who doesn't know what this guy's name is, his name is Mito. And in order to get past him, we're going to need to get a sword and a shield. So the first things that we're going to need to know is you're going to want to get as many rupees as you can potentially get, because technically you're going to need a grand total of 80 of them, and you also are going to need to get yourself a sword. And as you can see, she's already being annoying. She's telling us that we need to go to the Great Deku Tree, which already tried, okay? What more do you want from us? But, anyways, we need to get the Kokiri sword, which is referred to by some people, the butter knife. It literally is like the worst type of weapon you could really have in the game, except for the fact that it's better than nothing, so, I mean, and free rupees. So, what we're doing now is we're getting the first of the two pieces that we need, and along the way there's a few rupees, which is also very useful. What we're getting here is, of course, the butter knife. We are going to be getting that. It's kind of like a really crappy puzzle maze, like mini dungeon type of thing. And this is another sad thing. You actually have to go into your gear and actually equip it. You can't just have it on. I don't understand that, but whatever. Normally that grass, by the way, you can't pick it up. You actually have to slash that. There are certain types of grass that you can pick up, but that one wasn't one of them. But if you want to try and get a rupee from it, you obviously have to slash that type instead of picking it up. So have fun with that. That, or maybe it's just because we're not a man yet. We're halfway there, we got the sword, even if it is a butter knife. But, so what we need to do now is we need to accumulate more rupees, and as you can see, we only have 16. Believe it or not, this is what a huge majority of this episode is actually going to be, is acquiring rupees. And you're going to notice that I don't talk to pretty much any of the NPCs here. This is partly because I wanted to get the rupee thing out of the way, because there are two major things that we're actually going to be getting. You only need 40 rupees in order to get the shield, but in order to get something else, you're going to need another 40 rupees. And you need the Kokiri shield, I think is what it's called. You're going to need that for the other thing that we're going to be getting. So, it's fairly easy to actually accumulate the first 40. It's just a challenge getting the remaining 40. So, I mean, literally you can just run in and out of a building, throw these rocks around about 300 times, and you probably will have more than enough rupees in that you could really, find yourself doing anything with. So this is Mito's house. In Mito's house you find 4 chests. One of them has 1 rupee, 2 of them have 5 rupees, and then you get a recovery heart is what I think they're called. Obviously different from like a heart piece or a heart container. It just helps refill any of the damage that you potentially have taken. I don't know what damage you would have taken unless you're just blind and get hit by a rock, but that's, I mean, let's be real. If you make those jumps successfully, there's actually one that we missed. You'll see it I think a little bit later, but yeah, you can get 5 rupees from doing that. There's also a blue rupee hanging out on one of the ledges, so you can get that, which is another 5. Something else that a lot of people have actually never really seen or actually thought to kind of check is if you look over into that little right area over there, there's a little bit of a space, and if you go back there, you get another blue rupee, which is really cool. And we kind of went retarded there for a second, and not only rolled into like a barrel-looking thing, but we also, kind of just like all over the place. And he keeps running into things, so why not? Sorry if it sounds like I'm a little bit out of out of breath. I don't know, it's weird. Maybe it's because I haven't recorded in like a week and a half. I don't know. But, as you can see, there's plenty of rocks, plenty of grass that you can, like, cut, whatever. It's not hard. I mean, we already have 12, and we're about to get 5 more. It's just kind of a little bit, this is, like I said before, where it's a little bit more work than you'll probably think it's not as worth, but it's still something that I wanted to show people because some people might actually care. Something I should probably talk about, I'm not entirely sure how much percentage-wise I'm going to actually do this game. You don't exactly need every heart container, you don't exactly need everything in the game to beat it, so I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to probably play it as I go and see how things are done, and see how I do them, whatever. But yeah, and again, I feel really bad for that rock. I mean, you just got that guy over there doing God knows what to it. But, I mean, it doesn't change either. He just continuously does it for days on end. I don't want to L target him because I really don't need to see it more than He's off the screen there, and he's just like, yeah, hey, I'm just, trying to move this rock, quote unquote. But yeah, I mean, it's just working up the rupees. We have 32 now, which isn't bad. We just need 8 more, and these, like, both of these patches of grass seem to kind of yield at least 2 each. So, I mean, we just need a few more rupees. There's another one that we can get. So, since we've broken all the rocks, let's just go back into Mito's house, look at all of these beautiful treasure chests that we've already pillaged, and then we can go back outside and throw some more rocks at people, as well as checking out this grass, because again, I'm pretty sure you get at least 2 in each of these grass patches, which means we would only need 1 more, which is not bad. And, I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, roughly 9 or 10 rocks here. Pretty sure you're guaranteed at least 1. Well, there's 1 over here if you want to count that one as well. So the next thing that we're going to be going to get requires us to go over here. These vines lead you over to the Lost Woods. The Lost Woods, we aren't going to be doing much of anything here, at least not yet. But what we want to do to get something for essentially free here, we want to go over to the west side of the Lost Woods. And when you come over here, as long as you have your Deku Shield, you will be able to receive an upgrade for 40 rupees. Not to mention, well, in a way it's kind of 37, you're about to understand what I mean. There's this little Deku shrub, or whatever you want to call it, and he'll obviously try to attack you. If you use your shield, you'll send the thing flying back at him, and he'll kind of apologize and say, I'll give you this for 40 rupees. What it is it's a upgrade for the Deku stick, so you can carry more. I believe the default is like, 10, and now you're capable of holding a whopping 20. The cool thing about this is you also get a full stack of it, so you're given 20 right off the bat for free, and you also have the upgrade, which is an added, bonus. So you don't have to go and kill things in the upcoming dungeon to get them. You don't have to worry about having too little of them. Just something I wanted to kind of get out of the way right off the bat. The problem is you can't do it in reverse order. You can't just go and say, hey, I have my 40 rupees, I'd like to get my upgrade. You can't do that because you technically need the Deku Shield in order to kind of get past the whole him attacking you thing. So I don't know. And like I said, I'm pretty sure we missed that one before. Otherwise, I think things would have been a little bit faster, and that kind of hurt. But now that we've become a man, we can kind of show him that we are a man, and we have both the butter knife and the Kokiri shield, and we can now make our way to the Great Deku Tree. So yeah, and by the way, these are Deku Babas, and if you kill them, at least these ones specifically, they'll give you Deku sticks. We already have a full thing of Deku sticks, so we don't really need to kill them. I mean, if you really want to just be that guy and enjoy destroying things, then by all means. But anyways, the Great Deku Tree is about to tell us about all of the very evil things that are going on. All these, horrible things that are going to come to pass. Things that are cursed, apparently. And he wants us to take this test of courage type of thing. So, obviously, we can't progress through the game without doing this anyways. So, basically what we have here is the Great Deku Tree being the first actual dungeon in the game. It's more of a tutorial dungeon rather than anything else, but what can you do? So we are pretty much out of time. Tomorrow, or assuming that nothing interrupts me, tomorrow we will be going ahead and getting started on the Great Deku Tree, and from there we'll obviously continue progressing through the story. Legend of Zelda, obviously not everything is completely set in order. You can just run around whatever if you wanted to, but yeah. So be sure to stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and until next time, this is the PokeGamer, signing out.